the shadows of the old library halls, where the dust is thick and the silence calls. Books tell stories of the things unseen, of foxes wild and spirits keen. Whispers in the stacks they creep, ghostly chills that steal your sleep. Paranormal truths no one believes, they linger here like autumn's leaves. Bibles open to verses dark, stories written to leave their mark. The wildlife outside hears the moans, silent foxes, the forest groans. The last of beast you cannot tame, a history buff who knows no shame. One life outside hears the moans, silent foxes, the forest groans. The past a beast you cannot tame, a history buff who knows no shame. Paranormal tales in every spine, haunting truths that cross the line. Whispers in the stacks they creep, ghostly chills that steal your sleep. Paranormal truths no one believes, they linger here like autumn's leaves. Spirits waltz through moonlit air, books fall down as if to dare. Foxes howl in the wooded shade, they guard the truths that time forbade.
All right. Excellent, excellent theme. Thanks to Sweet Tea. Always want to give her credit for that. She is the author of that wonderful tune. How is everyone doing this evening? I hope you're doing well on this cold is an understatement. Cold up here in the Northeast. How are we doing tonight? Wow, 15 people in the chat to start off. Wow, that's awesome. That is very cool. Hello, Delilah. Hello, Shannon. Donna's doing it is in the house. Mustang Mike is here. Hey, Teacher has her tea ready, which is awesome. Gerard Sacelli is here. Paulie Donuts, my main man, is in the house. CG2 is here. Grateful is here. Everyone's saying hello to each other. That is awesome. Stig stopping in, wishing us a good show. Who else was here? We have a bunch of folks here. I don't want to miss anyone. Grateful. I think I said grateful. Sweet Tea, of course, is here. Delilah is here. Tammy Thompson is here. I see Ryan here. Who else? Crumel is here. Awesome. Adam Crevorcier is here. All right, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this cold night. I feel like Bob Cratchit, in Scrooge, where he would warm himself like this over the candle because that's all he had. Oh, thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Stigs, for buying a membership. That is awesome. That is awesome. I don't know who got it. Who got it? Let me see. Can I see that? I don't have the show open in my phone. I can't see it in StreamYard. But maybe I could go into my phone real quick and see who it is. Let's see here. It's not working for me. Anyway, you guys can find out. You guys can see it. You could tell me who it is. Who got it? I don't know why. That's strange. Why wouldn't it open for me? Very, very strange. I don't know. Anyway, so hi, Zelda. Good to see you. Delilah says it's a bombing 9 degrees in Connecticut. Well, it is pretty close to that right here. It is, let's say, what is it right now where I am out in northwestern New Jersey? It is 9 degrees. Same thing. We're going down to -2 this evening. Isn't that fun? -2. I got to tell you, I cannot remember the last time we had such a cold winter as we're having right now. This is pretty unique. This reminds me of like the early 90s. And I think that was the last time we had this type of cold weather. So it's been quite a while. Hello, Sliminy Cricket in the house. My buddy Slim. Shanna says it's 68 where she is. That's cool. I guess that's cold or unseasonably cooler, right, than usual for you guys. I don't know. But I saw some crazy temperatures in Florida, 27 degrees. That's just nuts. I never thought that would even happen down there. But it's that type of winter. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, it's interesting that's the 250th anniversary of this wonderful country, is that this was the type of weather that the Patriots had to deal with when they were fighting the British, because we had what they called a mini ice age at the time. So it was pretty darn cold, kind of like this. And we're expecting another cold front tomorrow, Shannon says. Okay. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I saw like a little bit of warm up for us. And what I mean by warm up is in the 30s coming for the coming week during the week, but then it's going to go drop down and get even colder after that. So this is, we're paying our dues. Let's put it that way. So we can earn our summer, I guess. We're earning our coming summer in the Northeast and the whole East, I guess, the whole East part of the country. Was even the South. So tonight, I thought it was very appropriate to talk about some snow and iced ghost stories. This is going to be a little bit different than normal. Normally, my ghost stories are tied to a location, so I could show you where the location is. These stories are more like legends, general legends, so I don't have a specific place that I could show you the building or that type of thing. But I have some images, some art and images, so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But these are from all over the place. They're from Europe, they're from America, they're from Canada, they're from all over, and these are really legends. Paulie Donuts, thank you, my friend. Oh, that's awesome. He's such a supporter of the show. Thank you, Paulie. 5 people getting memberships. That is awesome. I mean, 6 people got memberships tonight. That is pretty cool. And I wish I could see them, but for some reason, I can't get into the show on my phone. So I can't see who's getting them. But that's neither here nor there, I guess, right? That's neither here nor there, as they say. Because then I'd have to sit through. I have to sit through a little advertisement too, and it's funny because last week, I didn't have ads on the show until afterwards. Let's see. DARPA got it. Baby Girl got it. Gandalf Smith. J. Honorable Carlo. Yankees for Life gets one. Pretty cool. All right. So some people that we know in there. I missed who Stiggs' membership went to because I don't see it in here. Oh, Dave T. Dave T got one from Stiggs. Awesome. All right. That's what I like. I like to see you guys getting the memberships. People that are here, not these random folks that just happen to follow the channel. I never quite understood why that happens. Yeah, there you go. Right, Delilah. Thank you. DARPA is here. Hey, DARPA, how are you, my friend? Great to see you. Nick is here. Awesome. Good to see you, Nick M. So everybody's stopping by tonight. This is awesome. Thank you. So, like I said, these are more generalistic stories. They're more legends that deal with the cold and the ice, and they're all ghost related. But Um, but I have 7 of them I want to talk to you about. And then I may have a couple of paranormal videos to look at. Like I always say, I'm not really thrilled with them lately. The amount of paranormal videos out there are not really good these days. And it reminds me, Slim, I'm sure you're going on later, so people please tune into Slim later on. Check out his show. It'll be going on later. He usually does. I wanted to make sure I plug him before I forget about that. And hit the like button, please, while you're here. Help me out. Help me out. Spread the show a little bit. All right, so let's start, shall we? Let's start. Lenny, what do you think? You think it's time to start? I think it is. So, one thing I wanted to say about, and there's a theory about winter and cold and how it relates to the spirits and paranormal. And the theory is that kind of like we've heard about Halloween being a time where the veil between the living and the dead is thinnest, and that's why there's so much paranormal activity around that. And they also talk about that on the equinox, right? That when you're going from winter to excuse me, winter and summer equinoxes. But there's also a theory that in general, winter, because it's so cold and it is such a dead season, right? The earth is sleeping, the plants are sleeping, everything is quiet. The cold dulls sound, the cold dulls senses. That this is also a general time where the living are closer to the dead, and there's this back and forth between spirits coming in and out. So it's an interesting theory when you think about it. And also, there's the theory about how ghosts require energy, and um, in the cold, you know, energy goes from hot to cold. So I don't know if that really has much to do with it, more so than just the theory of the general veil between the living and the dead. I thought that kind of made sense to me a little bit. Uh, but the whole nature of you forever outside in a snowstorm and how quiet it is and how still everything is. It could even be creepy. I find it very soothing and very peaceful, but many people find it creepy. And I guess it really depends on where you are. If you're out in the wilderness, I'm sure it'd be more creepy than if you're in your front yard. But I really appreciate the peace and silence of a snowstorm. But I can understand how people would get that to be creepy, and there might be some interaction with spirits or unusual things during that time period. So keep that in mind as we talk about these legends. Gerard Cicelli, I think I said hello to you. If I didn't, I'm sorry. All right, so let's talk about first in general. You know, I mentioned before about how during the Revolution, it was such a cold time. It was what they call the mini ice age, such a cold time. And even before the actual revolution, the 1700s, during our colonial times, it was bad. The winters were very harsh and bad. And because of that, and remember, people lived in pockets and they lived far apart. There was great distances between villages, except for cities like New York and Philadelphia and Boston. For the most part, people lived in distances from each other, significant distance, and people had to travel to get to them, and oftentimes their travels would be disrupted by snowstorms, and people would never make it. They would succumb to the snowstorms. They would die in the process, freeze to death, or never be found again. And some of that was attributed to supernatural, but some of it was just obviously from the harsh weather and the lack of technology to deal with that, lack of heating sources. So in New England, specifically, with all its harsh winters, there was this belief that the travelers during this time period would perish, that their spirits would be locked into the roads in which they traveled and would be doomed to wander those roads, especially in the season when they lost their lives. So, in the cold and icy snowstorms, they would be wandering these roads, and taverns, specifically taverns along the roads, the main roads, and that's probably where a tavern would be, along a main road, would get these knocks at the door late at night, especially during snowstorms. And it was said that these are the souls of the travelers, the frozen travelers that lost their lives. And often, in addition to these knocks at the door, these rapping at the door, there would be handprints, cold, icy handprints on the door the next day. If the tavern owner was brave enough to open the door, oftentimes there would be nothing there. There would be a blast of cold air, but nothing. But most of the time, they would not answer these knocks in fear of what might be there. And in the morning, though, the curiosity, they would go and see, and they would see the icy imprints of a fist, fingers knocking on the door. What could that be if not the spirit of a frozen ghost or a frozen spirit? Because it wouldn't be a human beings, right? It wouldn't be a human being out there at that time wandering about, because at that people knew they had to stay indoors, they had to find shelter. So the general theory of frozen travelers in New England was very prevalent and to this day, those rumors still exist whenever there's a snowstorm, specifically in rural areas. They might hear tales of the frozen travelers who lost their lives and still wander, linked to the roads in which they traveled. So, an interesting thought when you think about what these folks went through, especially our forefathers, what they went through. The harsh conditions. All right, so that was number one, the New England frozen travelers. Hello, Angelique. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Sven Larson, thank you for being here, buddy. All right, in the same vein as the New England frozen travelers, there's an even older legends in the Alps, Central Europe, France, Switzerland, Italy, Austria, all have the Alps. And this common legend spread throughout all four of those countries. And it's called the frost-bitten souls of the Alps is what they call them. And these are pale figured spirits, figure pale, I'm sorry, excuse me, pale complexion spirits that appear exclusively in blizzards and usually on mountain passes. And it's believed that these are the souls of those who lost their lives on these passes because of weather, because of cold, icy weather. Now, these are quite dangerous. These spirits are quite dangerous because they are said to have lured people. They lure travelers into their deaths, into treacherous areas. So, if you would think of a blizzard happening and travelers making their way through the mountains, and suddenly they see in the distance a pale figure appear who beckons them to come. Now, these travelers are lost, they're desperate, they're looking for help. They immediately assume that this person out there is someone from the area who could help them, and they follow them blindly. And usually, what happens is the spirit, being malevolent, will lure them to a cliffside or to an area where there's an avalanche or such, and these people end up dying themselves. So these are bad spirits. These are not good spirits. They're to be feared, and they are to be ignored. You should not follow them. The best defense is to not follow them. Understand that they're there, but never follow them, because you can meet your doom doing so. Dean Do, how are you, my brother? Good to see you. All right. So there you have the frostbitten souls of the Alps. Stay away from them. And they could be male figured or male or female figured. There's stories of both. So, like I said, they just look like white, pale inhabitants of the area. So you might think that they're just regular people out in a storm looking to help, but instead they're actually out there trying to harm. So be mindful of that if you're ever in a mountain pass in the Alps. All right, Let's go on to number 3. Now, number 3, we're going to go over to Canada, to Newfoundland. And there's a legend in Newfoundland and it's called the Candle Ghosts of Newfoundland. And it is said that in the wintertime, in the many inlets that make up Newfoundland, whenever there's a storm of any type, or where there's a lot of fog and there's a lot of cold and a lot of dreary conditions, people will see these lone candles, much like this one, floating in the distance, in the fog, in the inlets. And it is said that these candles represent the souls of fishermen, Newfoundland fishermen who lost their lives in winter quests. And they are bound to these inlets. But unlike our Alps people who are very evil, these people are more neutral. These spirits are more neutral. They're out looking more, I would say, more benevolent than malevolent. They are out looking to guide people to safety, guide people with their candlelight. They manifest in this candlelight as a beacon in the storm, in the fog, in the dreary conditions, so that people, if they're lost, can follow the candle, and the candle will usually lead them into an inlet, into inland, as opposed to out to sea. So mainly for fishermen who are looking to help their fellow fishermen get to safety. But people usually see these from the land. They see them in the inlets from the land. So, but it's believed, like I said, that they are the spirits, the manifestation of fishermen who lost their lives, who are looking to help fellow fishermen weather the winter storms. So if you see a candle in an inlet floating out there in the distance, a bleak light out in the distance, it could very well be the spirits of one of these fishermen who's looking to help out their fellow man. So a good spirit to have around. Hello, Todd Father. How are you? Gianni, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. All right, so there you have the candle ghosts of Newfoundland. And it's usually one candle. They're usually one candle at a time. It's not like you see multiple candles. So interesting part of that. All right, let's go over to Japan for number 4, our number 4 story. And this is one of the images that was on the thumbnail. If you go to the thumbnail, you'll see there was an image of hold on a second. I don't think I had an image of, let me see something here real quick. But I do have an image of this ghost. I didn't have an image of the other. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this. We're in Japan. And now, if you know anything about Japan, Japan has high mountains that are very cold and frigid and a lot of snow at times. So Japan is similar in altitude, I guess, to Canada. So it gets colder temperatures. It's a northern, even though it's an island, it's a northern island. So it does get a lot of cold weather and frigid weather. And there is this legend of the Yuki Ono. Now I'm going to show you a picture of what this is, and it's called Snow Woman, and that's what that means in Japanese. Snow Woman, Yuki Ono. So let me show you an image of one of these spirits, so you know what I'm talking about. Now here's an artist's rendition of. Oh wait, no, wait a minute, why does this happen all the time? Hold on. There we go. This is an artist's rendition of the Yuki Ono. And it is a woman. It's the spirit of a woman. Spirit with long black hair, as you see in this picture, but white skin, dressed in a white gown or a white dress, floating and appearing in snowstorms. People who see her also say that they never see footprints in the snow after they encounter her or see her in the distance. She floats above the ground, and she is a forebearer of storms. So, forebearer and also during storms, she will appear. Now, the interesting thing about her is much like the Alps travelers, the frostbitten travelers of the Alps, this young lady will kind of act as a judge on the travelers she encounters. So she could be evil or she could be helpful. And it is said that she will target travelers, and based on how they act, she will either assist them or help them meet their doom. And how she would do that is she would blow out this icy cold breath that would instantly freeze people in front of her. And she, like I said, she is a beacon of justice, so to speak. So if people are bad people, it is said that they will meet her end. They'll meet their end if they encounter her, whereas good people will be led to safety. She'll help them get to safety from the storm. So it's an interesting theory, interesting legend, the Yuki Ono, UKI dash ONNA, Yuki Ono. She is some people say that she's a beautiful woman, but jet black hair, white skin, white shirt, white gown, floating in the snowstorm, floating above the ground, but has this lethal icy breath that could take your life in an instant if you are judged to be unworthy of meeting her. If you have a bad reputation, or if you act poorly towards her or something like that, you're playing with fire, so to speak, or in this case, ice. You're playing with ice because you're going to meet your doom. So, an interesting spirit, the Yuki Ono. All right. Now let's go to our fifth story, which is going to take us to Russia. Now, this story has to do with a being called Moroz, Moroz, Moroz for short. And he's also known as the grandfather Frost. Now, a lot of people have confused him with Santa Claus and think that he is, a legend like Santa Claus, but that is relatively new. That is something that has evolved over time, I guess, with the spreading of Santa Claus and the idea of Santa Claus, that he began to take on a Santa Claus type of persona. But prior to that, he was not. He was not a bearer of gifts. He was not a spirit that you'd want to see. He was known to protect the natural world. In other words, he was out there using ice and storms and cold to protect the natural world from man. So he was an adversary of man, this spirit. And I'll show you a picture or artist's rendition of what he would look like. Where is this guy? There he is. There he is to the right, and that is his daughter, another spirit, his daughter. But long white frosty beard, usually in a heavy cloak with a crown on his head, carrying a staff, and the staff would cast ice and metal. I mean, ice and snow. Ice and snow would be cast from this staff that he would carry with him. And again, he would also be much like the Yuki Ono in that he would judge folks as to whether they were good or bad. And if you were bad, he would freeze you. You know, he would have this ability to cast ice on you, and there's stories of thieves and robbers who would make their way after looting a village and make their way into the woods into the mountains in Russia, only to meet their end when they met Moros. They met Grandfather Frost, who would inflict justice upon them and freeze them, and they would not be seen again, and they'd be discovered in the spring, having frozen to death. So he is a bit of a judger guy. He is a justice inflictor. You know, he's out there seeing that the world, in addition to protecting nature, he's in there seeing that the bad get punished. It also said that he would reward those that showed him respect and courage. So if you encountered him and you treated him with respect and courage, he may grant you and gift you something. And usually it would be some type of food, because people would be starving at the time or in need of food in an ice storm, and he would provide you with some type of food. So he's an interesting legend that's out there. And like I said, over time he became more like Santa Claus, where he would ride a sleigh, and but not pulled by reindeer, pulled by horses, and would give um, gifts. You know, give gifts to good girls and boys on Christmas. So they kind of turned him into Santa Claus, I guess. But his original position or original goal here was to be the protector of nature against man, and an inflictor of justice, an inflictor of revenge on the bad, on the wicked, using the forces of ice and snow. So he's an interesting type of character. Grandfather Frost, or in Russian it would be Moros. All right, let's get rid of that. Oh, I wanted to. This is what I forgot to show you guys. When I was talking about Newfoundland, I wanted to show you this just as a visual to go along with things. An artist's rendition again, artist's rendition of the candle ghosts, the ghost candles. As you can see, this is an inlet in held by a skeleton hand, but it's an inlet in Newfoundland, and the candles would rise in the inlets, directing people to safety. So I forgot to share that when I was talking about it. All right, let's go on to number 6. Now, number 6. We're going to go to the Ukraine for this one. This is the ghost of the snow bride of the Carpathian Mountains. This one has a story behind it. Hey, teacher. Hello, hey, teacher. I'm sorry I missed you. I didn't say hello to you before. Zelda, I think I said hello to you. All right, guys. All right. All right. All right. I'm catching up. All right. Let me get rid of this. All right. Now, the snow bride of the Carpathian Mountains. The backstory to this one sounds familiar. If you think back to the many ghost stories that I've told over the last couple of years, a lot of times we find ghosts that come from forbidden love, or love, lost love. This is kind of both put together. This story has to deal with a young girl by the name of Katerina, who was the daughter of a local lord in the region in the Carpathian Mountains. And because she was of royalty, or she was of royal blood, her father arranged for her to have a marriage with a son of another lord. However, Katerina did not love this man. In fact, she was deathly afraid of him, and was actually in love with a simple shepherd by the name of Nicola. And she wanted so badly to marry Nicola, but her father forbid it and wouldn't allow it. Hello, Kelly. Good to see you. Now, Katerina, again, was said to be someone who was of great beauty. She was a beautiful young girl with long black hair, jet black hair, raven black hair, is what they say. And so the wedding day comes where she is to be betrothed to this chosen person who she does not want to be. Now, before that wedding day comes, she makes a deal with Nicola um, to run away. They will run away the night before the wedding. They will disappear, go off and live poor but live happy together. So they plan to meet out on up in the mountains where Nicola would keep his herd. Now, unfortunately, that night, a huge storm comes in and brings with it this thick, icy fog and encompasses the entire region. But that doesn't stop Katerina and Nicola from trying to meet. So Katerina makes her way out in through the stormy night to find and get to the rendezvous point with Nicola, and they will find their way. They'll make a way out. They'll find their way out of here. Now, unfortunately, what happened was her father found out about this and let her betrothed, her future to be betrothed fiance, know that this was happening. And the jealousy in this fiance was so great that he and his henchmen went out and ambushed Nicola and murdered him in the night. So Nicola never gets to the rendezvous point. And poor Katerina is out there in her wedding dress, waiting as the storm rages on, and the fog gets thicker and thicker. She ends up losing her life in that cold, dark night. She disappears completely. No one ever sees her again. Now, since that story happened, it turns out that her spirit haunts the mountain ranges of the Carpathians, and it is said that people will hear sobbing at night, especially when there's a thick icy fog. They'll hear sobbing, and the sobbing will be that of Katerina crying out, trying to find her beloved, where he went, not knowing his fate, not knowing anything, but meeting her doom alone on the cold, icy slopes. Some people say that she will lure them to their deaths, people, so that she has lured people to their deaths, in the sense that she's on a cliff where she met her end, and she'll sit there and she'll be crying and sobbing, and people will go to her rescue, and then they will end up falling to their death off the cliff. So, not sure if it's intentional. It may not be intentional. It may be just her living her tortured soul, reliving this over and over again, and people trying to help her and meeting their doom. It's because she died in that region that people would also meet their end the same way. So it's a sad story, but it's a common story, right? It's a common source for a lot of these legends and ghosts. So here is an artist's rendition of what Katerina, her spirit, looks like. They say that she has the wedding dress on, that she has glowing red eyes, like in this picture, and she could be quite beautiful. And for that reason, people are caught off guard, and they, especially men, would look to help her, and at times they would slip and fall and meet their own doom. So she is I'm going to go with the fact that she's not a vengeful spirit, that she's not malevolent, but it's just the nature of her haunts and the nature of where she is that it ends up harming people. So it's a sad story how these two lovers never got to live their lives together, and both met horrible ends. And as a result, she is still looking for Nicola, all these years. And that was said to have happened in the 1600 15 1600s, so many many years ago. And to this day, during storms in the Carpathian Mountains, people will encounter her. So interesting tale from the Ukraine. All right, that was number 6. Now, my last story is we're going to come back to New Jersey for this one. And this one is the snow whaler of the Pine Barrens. Now, if you're from New Jersey, you know what the Pine Barrens are. If you watch my shows, you know what the Pine Barrens are. The Jersey Devil episode was all about the Pine Barrens. It is in South Jersey. It is thick wilderness of pines, of pine trees, and they're kind of a unique type of tree. They grow in this sandy soil that's down there, and the woods can get very thick at times. And although it's South Jersey, they do get snow from time to time. And when they do, when there's a snowstorm, many people have claimed to have encountered the whaler. Now, they don't see anything. They've never spotted this spirit, but they hear this spirit. And it's a human wail. It's a crying wail that echoes through the Pine Barrens. Now, let me show you some of the pictures of the Pine Barrens, which may give you an idea of what I'm talking about here in terms of what it's like there. You know, they're all the pine trees grow so very close together, and they're covered in snow, and it becomes like a barren wilderness that all looks the same. It all looks identical, and it's so easy to get lost there. And many people have gotten lost there. That's one picture of it. Let me show you another. Hold on. This is from a drone, which I think is good because it shows you kind of how barren it is in the winter. You know, it's just a barren landscape when you get snow down there, in between these twigs, these twigs trees. So everything looks the same, and it's very very dangerous place to get lost, especially in the winter. Um, yes, Paulie, it is New Jersey. Yes, Pine Barrens, Pine Barren. You know, like the word barren, meaning something's barren. That's what it's called, and I think that's called that because you can't grow anything there. It's the sandy soil. The only thing that really grows there successfully are these type of pine trees, and they're not the big pine trees that you would not like a Christmas tree. These are it's hard to describe. They're kind of like like sticks with piney needles all around them. You know, it's not like a traditional Christmas tree or anything like that. They're these thin little things, but there's lots of them real close together, and they thrive growing close together in this sandy soil, and it makes this land of so easy to be lost in because everything looks identical. So many people have been lost over the years in the Pine Barrens. And it is said that this whaler is the spirit of a woman who, in the 1800s, got lost in the Pine Barrens during a winter storm, looking for her child, and never found him, but and lost her life, froze to death out there. And now she wails every time there's a snowstorm. It summons her spirit, and she begins to look for her child again, crying and wailing over and over again. So a sad tale that echoes through the Pine Barrens anytime it snows down there. And we don't get you don't get way anywhere near as much snow as I do up north, but when it does happen, it hits and it all looks the same. And I would not go anywhere near the Pine Barrens in a snowstorm because you'd never find your way out. It's something pretty awful. And if any of you guys have ever seen The Sopranos, that episode when Paulie and Christopher they go down to the Pine Barrens to try to dispose of the Russian guy. That's what it looks like. That's where that was filmed, in the Pine Barrens, and you could see how it's all barren, how it's so easy to get lost. They in fact get lost. They can't find their way out. And that stuff is all true. Like that stuff is real. That's the way it is down there. And anyone who's from New Jersey knows that. You do not play around with the Pine Barrens, especially in winter when it snows, because you will not find your way out of there. So um, it's a creepy environment, and people that live there, understand that and hear these wails in a stormy night out through the pines, wailing through. Could it be the wind blowing through? I don't know, possibly. Or could it be the spirit of this woman that lost her life in the 1800s looking for her child? Who knows? But that's the Wailer of the Pine Barrens. All right. And that's your seventh and final story of Icy Winter Tales. So we started out in New England. We went to the Alps. We went to Newfoundland. We went to Russia. We went to Japan. We went to the Ukraine, and then we came back to New Jersey. But all legends of icy cold ghosts that have accumulated over the years, have been evolved over the years. Hello, Suzanne. I'm sorry I didn't say hello to you before. I see that you've been here a while. I didn't see that. Yes, Johnny, the Jersey Devil. I think even the Jersey Devil goes south when we have a winter like this. I don't know if he can take it. So, so there you have it. There you have the tales for the evening. I don't know if anyone else has had any encounters of ghostly tales in the winter that you know of, or please share if you do. I just thought it was interesting considering the fact that it's a time where people would sit around and tell ghost stories, right? Because they're in the houses, it's cold, it's dreary. It's a time where people are very uneasy because of the weather. So it's an area for telling tales. And what better than tales of icy ghosts in an icy time? So there you have it, your seven tales. I don't know if Osada or Todd Father are around, because I'll transition to my paranormal videos, if I may. Let me see something here. Actually, I don't even. Something's wrong here. Something's wrong on my computer because I do not see my paranormal videos anywhere. Let's see here. Huh. This is strange. They did not load properly. I don't know. That is bizarre. Why did they not load properly? Hold on a second here. Let me try this again real quick. Give me a second. Let me try this real quick. Because this has never happened before. Usually I don't have a problem like this. All right. There. Okay, that worked. That's one. Bear with me. There's two. And one more. And then I'll drop the link for you, Todd. And if Osada's around, he can certainly come up as well. All right. There we go. One more. There we go. All right. That was strange. All right. Hold on. Thank you for your patience. Hi, Joey Pope. Good to see you. Yes, fa freddo. Fa freddo. Absolutely. Yeah, Krumel. I don't know. I think the icy spirits may have hacked into me a bit here today. see here. All right. So, Todd Father, the link is in the chat. There we go. Hello, sir. How are you?
What's up? How's it going?
Is it cold there, to say the least?
Well, it's warming up to 11 now, but it was like -3 all day.
Oh my lord, that's
Brutal.
crazy. That is just
It
crazy.
we are on our 6th day of 20 degrees or colder in Buffalo right now.
Yeah, it's been bad. I don't know what's going on. So much for global warming.
Yeah, I've had it.
All right,
Seriously.
let's see here. All right, so let me share my screen and wait a minute. I didn't even play my intro yet. Hold up. All right. Now let's do this. Here we go. Wait a minute, get out of here. Hold on. All right. This is a new channel that I found some videos on. It's called Night Ruler. So if anyone wants to check it out, you certainly can on YouTube. It's paranormal videos. But this one, let's see. This is taken outside in the yard. So I'll play it.
Oh,
Now, as you could see, right? We can see that it's a
you
girl,
gotta look
right?
below the lights. Yeah, right there.
There's a girl. But the question I have is this a real girl? That's my question. Like, why isn't
Why?
this like
Where do you get a girl from that?
you don't see a girl here?
I see a human, but I don't.
You don't think it's a girl?
Oh, her is a girl, but the person in the tree.
Yeah, you don't think that's a girl in the tree? Hold on.
Go back.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna do it in slow motion. You don't see the hair there? Like there's the face, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say
Right?
that.
Like right there.
Yeah, but what's the lights like going over it though? Like,
I think the light is just in the background. It's just like a light in the background someplace. I don't know what
if
that
you're
is.
asking me, that's like they're by the street and that's a car coming by and they're like in a bush.
You think that's a car? Oh yeah, it could be a car. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. But my point is, like, why isn't this a real? Why is this a spirit and not a real person? Like, why can't this just be a real person near the bush?
I don't.
Right? It looks like a real. It doesn't it? Looks like just like a person's face. Right?
It does for sure. I mean,
You know,
it's clear.
it's clear. It's not like it's she vanishes or anything, or she's like translucent or anything. I mean, it's creepy if you're say this is your front yard and you come out of your front door and then suddenly there's a girl sticking out of the bushes. I mean, that would be a bit
Yeah,
creepy.
that's not up high anywhere. That's like ground level in my opinion. There's a car coming by.
Yeah. Well, there's the person's coming out their front door, right? They're coming out their front
Yeah,
door. You can see there's the side of the door, and there's this bush, and it's like tropical. It's like Florida or something, and they come out, and yeah, that's a
I
car. You're
just
right.
saw legs. No, no,
Yeah.
go back because I saw legs. There's legs right there. Not that bent thing, but
Let's see. So that's the You
that's the
sure it's not
branch, the
it's not the
trunk or
stump,
whatever.
the tree? It's not the trunk of the tree?
Yeah,
Hold
but
on.
keep going, keep going.
All right.
There's the legs. There's two legs. They're like standing right behind that stupid tree.
Ah, okay.
Go back and play it again.
Hold on. What did I do? I lost it. Hold
There's the
on.
two legs like shorts and like they're wearing shorts. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
person. Watch. Yeah, that's fake.
Well, it's not fake. It's a real person.
Well,
Right?
yeah, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's not a
Yeah.
it's a fake ghost story or
Yeah.
whatever or paranormal.
Oh, I'm losing this. There we go. Oh, I'm losing this. I can't do the. I'm losing my. Why am I losing that? That's weird. All right, hold on.
I was driving down the street the other day. It was fully white out, and I went to bang off my wiper,
Mm-hmm.
and it flew off. The wiper blade came completely off, and it flew into the left hand turning
Oh
lane.
boy.
So I had to, but I just literally bought these winter blades, and I had my old blades for the summer with me.
Right.
So I pulled over. I ran in the middle of the street, got the wiper. Somebody ran it over. It was all just it was bad. It was
Mm-hmm.
broken or whatever. Put my rain one back on and drove home. And they actually gave me a replacement for free. They didn't make me
Oh,
buy another
nice.
one. Yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know if they installed them wrong,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or
maybe.
what. But like I
Maybe.
said, I reached my hand out the window to smack on the windshield, and it just
Mm-hmm.
went right off, flew right off.
Right.
Only me.
All right.
What's
Let's
up, my
see. Here we
gooch?
go. Magooch is in there. Gooch. All right. All right. Here's the next one. All right. This is a girl. You'll see it's a girl sitting in a chair, right? And you'll see what happens to her. It's going to be self explanatory. I don't even think I have to explain it. This is from Night Ruler site. All right, here we go. Now watch what happens to her head. Look at the top of her head. Watch what happens.
Oh please,
All
come on, go back.
right. Now, I think this is completely a complete fraud. I don't even think this is even close to being real because
I mean, the first time you showed it, it looked like fingers.
it's a hand. It's definitely a hand. But my guess is that it's superimposed because now watch what happens. I'm going to do it in slow motion. Now watch. She's sitting here. Now watch the hand come up. Right.
Oh,
Yeah. She doesn't react. Like look. If this was a hand touching her, right, she doesn't react in exact time as she should. Right. There comes the hand.
well,
Now
maybe
she
it
turns.
didn't reach her head fully. I don't know.
Well, see, look, here it is, and it's already pulling away now. See, it's supposedly touching her hair and pulling away, and goes away, and now she reacts. Right?
Nah, there's still a white thing there. Yeah.
So I don't even think this is a person behind her. I think it's superimposed, and I think she's acting. That's my that's my opinion here.
Oh boy.
There's a close up. Right? Here comes the hand.
Oh yeah, it's a human hand.
Yeah. Now here's another thing to think about. Now watch the way the hand comes up. Now it's right-handed here, right? The thumb is to the right. Now watch it switches. Now the
I
thumb is to
think
the
what they
left.
were
Look at that. The thumb is to the left.
all right. So I think what they were doing was like just tapping on her, like to see when she would react. Like they're pulling it away, so if she
Hmm.
turns around, they pull it away.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. See? So yeah.
Johnny says that's just a caphone hiding.
Yeah. They might as well just put a plastic bag over it and just forget the hand. I mean, if you're gonna fake it, make it cool at least.
Hey, Hollywood, how are you? Uh, it's too funny. Like it shoots back. Like it shoots back. Look, you can see it like shoot back, right? And then
Yeah,
you see in
they're
the
seeing,
corner.
they're
In
tapping
the
her on the
corner.
head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it hits taps her on the head, and then it goes to the corner. Always shoots back to the corner there, and then it goes under. Oh my God, what happened to me? Oh
yeah.
no.
She's a bad actress.
Yeah, she's not too good. All right. All right. Now my last one. Let's see if my last one's any good here. This one is a still picture, and it's a bit older. But tell me what you think. Now, this is you've seen. I'm sure you've. I don't know if you've seen this one, but I'm sure you've seen these pictures before, where it is said that there is a hand in a picture that can't be explained,
Okay.
and that's what this one is. This is one of those. Now, let me just play it to the point where you got to get up close here. Now, I don't know if there's a closer up one. Hold on. All right. Now, you see this? Now, here's the boy, the girl, the mother's holding the girl. The girl's arms and hands are here. The mother's
Also, the
arm,
hand.
right? And
Okay,
this,
go ahead.
what's this here? What is this
Yeah.
here? It's not his.
Can you go in further or no?
Um, I think it does go in further. Hold on. Now, I noticed something here. I want to stop it right here. Look to this girl's head, like look behind her right here, like to her between her hair and her shoulder. It looks like there's some other hair back there that could be like another little girl or boy hanging back with the arm up on with the hand up on the shoulder. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it could be her hair, but it looks like it's like frizzy.
I think it's her hair.
So what's
Or
this hand then?
it could be.
If that's her hair, right?
It looks like a doll's hand or something. It's tiny.
Well, yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean, if it
saying
was
it's.
a little
I'm not.
kid,
I'm not saying it's a doll hand. I'm just saying it's
yeah.
tiny.
I mean, if it was say it's like a little kid, like a little girl, a little boy, that's
Yeah, it
hanging
might be someone who just didn't make it in the picture. I don't know.
that's hanging out behind the mother,
Yeah, yeah.
and of course they're saying that there's no like there was no one there. They swear no one was there. That type of stuff, you know. Grateful
And
says
that's no hand. That's a wart. It's a goiter.
the little girl, the little girl's right arm looks weird. Um,
Oh, Johnny's got a good thing there. An unexplainable hand. Is
that's a
it?
wart.
Is it? Is it thing? I think it's called it though, wasn't it?
Thing
From
from
the
the
Addams family.
no, thing was the hand. It cousin
Was
it
it?
was the
Oh,
guy with the hair. The cousin hit was the guy all covered in hair.
okay.
Cousin
Yeah, I got screwed.
yeah.
I got it screwed up.
Thing was the hand that would walk along.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe you never know.
yeah.
Could be an abnormal growth. I mean, who knows?
Lila says the mother's arm is distorted. Yeah, or maybe she's just
It
got a fat
is.
arm. Maybe she's got. I don't know. Maybe she's got a
I
fat
wasn't gonna say it, but you know.
arm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
So
think there's someone not in the picture and their hands draped over, like so there's somebody else behind the mom.
that's what I would think. I would think that there's the littlest kid of the family is probably hanging in the back behind the mother, and didn't want to be in the picture. Maybe like kind of ducked down, didn't want to be in the picture. You know, little kids
Yeah.
get that way sometimes. But her arm, her hand is still on the shoulder.
Maybe we should reenact that when if I come out there and we take a group picture.
There you
Just
go.
make some
See if,
new
see if
hands.
a hand, if there's some random hand that shows up.
We'll just
Hey,
have like
Judge.
someone hide behind us and put hands all over.
Hello, Judge. How are you? Good to see you. And that's it. That's all I had. I just had those three this evening. Didn't have a lot.
Yeah, these ones are different from the normal ones. It's all right though. They're good. It's a good
Yeah,
conversation.
they're as you say, it gets a little harder and harder each week to get something worth really digging into a bit. I mean, these are pretty simple, but that's about it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have any events this weekend or no?
No, I don't. I don't have anything this weekend. My wife's birthday's in a few days, and then tomorrow we're going to a college in Rochester, and my son has an interview
Oh,
there.
okay.
So he's already been accepted there, but they're like going to interview him for like financial aid and scholarships and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we'll be out. We'll be
Excellent.
out there for probably half the day. So,
Good luck with
but
that.
yeah, I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? I never got stuff like that. I never really tried hard in school either, though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so that's where we're heading out tomorrow morning, and we'll be back at night.
Hollywood says it's -11. Is he right?
It could have. I don't think it is right now. Hang on, I'll look. Right now it says 8 degrees. Feels like 1 degree, so it's going up a little bit. Today it was literally on the thermometer -3.
So maybe it felt like -11. Maybe it was like the wind chill and everything made it.
Yeah, they had school today. The all week long they're saying Friday they're not going to have school. It's supposed to be 20 to 30 below for wind chill, and it didn't get quite that low. But man, I'll tell you,
Hmm.
it's cold. I mean,
Wow.
I was layers. I was in layers today. Still cold.
53 in Houston. It's cold for Houston, isn't it? 53.
Yeah, I talked to Yankees not too long ago, and he said they got down to 27 where he is
Wow.
down south. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's this winter is just insane. It really is. Um, it reminds me when I was a kid. Like in the late 70s. It was like unbelievably cold all the time. Right now it's 8 degrees here, and it's going to get to -2. It says tonight.
So yesterday there was a 2 mile snow band. That's it, wide, 2 mile wide snow band, and it came right through our town, and we just smashed like a complete whiteout. I got home from work and literally
Wow.
took the dogs out, and I looked out the window, and it was a complete whiteout.
Wow.
And then sure enough, the plows came by and just pushed all the snow right halfway up my driveway. So
Of course. Of
I
course.
didn't even snowblow it afterwards. I just drove right through it. We've been driving right through it. I'm not shoveling all the ice and chunks anymore. I'm done. It's too damn cold out. Oh,
Thank you,
nice.
Grateful. Thank you for 5 members. That's awesome. So here's who got them: Cheech, TDG. Don't know who that is. Lacey Silver. Lacey Silver's been here. Assassin, something or other, and Gooch got one. All right, awesome.
Oh,
Thank you
hooray!
again.
Magoo's got one. All right. Oh, yeah. Cool.
That's funny.
Um, yeah, but you know, it's like everybody. When you live up here, you're used to it. But man, the
Hmm.
cold is just bad. It's just bad. I've had it.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
This
this
is
is
like the
bad for
first
us.
winter.
This is bad
What's
for us,
that?
though. This is bad for us. Like, we don't get weather like this in New Jersey. I mean, we get cold winters, but it's been consistently below freezing for the past 2 weeks. I mean, almost.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh
below
yeah.
freezing every day, like not getting above freezing. So we're getting no snow melt at all. So I have 18 to 20 inches of snow that's just sitting here, and it's not moving. It's not going anywhere.
Is your
So
driveway clear?
yeah, yeah.
Well,
We
good.
blew the driveway. We blew the driveway 3 times when it was snowing. Like three, we did it 3 times to get it clear, and now it's. But at least it's clear. But And like where I go in to do some work in Clifton near Stiggs, it's a nightmare. It takes me 20 minutes to get from the office to where I'm working to a major highway. Just 20 minutes, and then that's another hour on top of it for me to get home because it's an hour away. So like it's such a gridlock because of the snow. Like there's two lanes or like one lane. It's just a nightmare because none of the snow's melting and there's no place to put it.
Yeah,
So
and also, I mean, do you have salt? Do they salt your roads down there?
they do. They do brine. They do brine and the major roads are salted. The side roads are like sand and brine near me.
Because they're like literally like they're on the news. They're on the news the other day saying they're telling us how the highway department mixes like certain chemicals with the salt, so it
Hmm.
like eats it faster. I mean, no wonder our
Yeah,
roads are destroyed.
that's why you get the
Um,
potholes. That's why you get the massive
right.
potholes in the spring. Yeah.
But like today, there was it today or yesterday? It was either yesterday or today. But about 40 minutes from my house, going toward where I'm going tomorrow, there was a 30 to 50 car tractor trailer pileup. Like
Oh
it's like all over
my God,
Facebook, all over everything. Like, and
that's
that's just
awful.
like this is like the second time in days that something like this has happened. There was one in like I think in Angola, New York last week when we got all that snow. They literally shut the throughway down, and where this particular exit is, there's like a big hallway. You walk across the throughway, and then there's like McDonald's and it's like a
Hmm.
travel rest stop. But they had a water main break, so you couldn't even use the bathrooms in there.
Wow.
It was yeah.
Wow.
It's been a hellish last few weeks here.
Stig says the allergies are going to be. Why would allergies be bad? I don't understand that. Like, why would they be bad from a cold winter? I just don't
Yeah,
understand the connection.
I
Like, I don't understand the causation. That's why I'm asking. I don't get it.
um I think it's Newfoundland, by the way.
Newfoundland? I call it Newfoundland.
He did, but I think it's Newfoundland.
Newfoundland?
Uh,
All right.
yeah, let me. If Krumel's still here, let him ask him if I'm correct, because he made a comment saying that need to learn how to say it.
Newfoundland? How is it Newfoundland?
Newfoundland. Go
It's
ahead, Google
Newfoundland.
it. It's
It's
spelled
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. It's like together. Like you don't say to get her. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
Newfoundland. Look it up.
Uh, Joey Pope. Yeah. Let me see something here. In Montreal, they push the snow into huge piles, and then they have trucks pick them up and take the to a water treatment plant. I wish they did that here. Huh. Well, I know that when I was a kid, they used to not even not so much when I was a kid. It's more like when my father was a kid in Newark. What they used to do is they used to pick up the snow, put it in dump trucks, and dump it into the Passaic River. But that destroyed the river. I mean, all that salt and everything was in the snow, right? Because they're salting the roads, and that would pollute the river. So they stopped doing that. So they don't do that anymore. But that was the
Oh,
solution
okay.
for Newark because there was you couldn't put it anywhere.
Yeah, I mean you'll catch like the town going around and like by like the stop signs and stuff. Like
Hmm.
they'll try to take the piles down for that, or they'll dig out the fire hydrants, or you know
Hmm.
because God forbid somebody's got to like, keep an eye on their fire hydrant in front of their house.
Yeah. Well, you know what? My old house used to have a fire hydrant in front of it, and I'd make sure to dig it out. Um, but I tell you what, in my old area where I lived, my old neighborhood, we had sidewalks. I did not do the sidewalk. I did not plow the sidewalk because no one did, right? So if you and this is a tip for anybody, if you have if you have sidewalks, if nobody's doing it, don't do it because then it becomes an even playing field, right? Nobody's going to go on the sidewalks. Nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's going to get injured. So that's the way it was. The entire neighborhood, nobody did the sidewalk. So it was just driveway openings. and people would be walking in the streets. They wouldn't walk in because the sidewalks would be fully covered.
I always do mine, and the last a couple times I didn't. Like my one neighbor to the left of me's got two very young kids. They got their hands full over there, so I'll do from my sidewalk all the way to the street corner,
Hmm.
for them, and then I got to go out since we're on a corner lot. I got to go on the other side of my house, so I go about another 50 feet and do his. And somebody helped me out the last few times, so someone ran theirs through because I didn't. Like I said, the plow pushed everything through, and they threw it so high that the snow went on the sidewalk too. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So
yeah.
all my snow blowed sidewalk got filled right in with
Oh
the
yeah.
driveway.
Sure.
So
Sure.
they somebody closer on either side of me got me. But the thing is, like they wait. I'm on, like I said, I'm on the corner, so I kind of gotta keep it. Try to keep it clear because the kids wait for the buses there. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure.
So I mean, I kind of, it's the right thing to do at
Do you have
least.
a lot of people that drive? I mean, I'm sorry, a lot of people that walk dogs in your neighborhood?
Yeah, tons,
Yeah.
tons.
This is. I want to show you this. I want to show you this. I don't know if you have this issue. I mean, I don't have it here because everything is too far apart. Like, and there's no parking on the street here during the winter. During winter, you're not allowed to park on the street, and it's
Right.
specifically for this reason, so that they can plow. Because we get a lot of more snow here than we do in other parts of New Jersey. So you can't smart. It's from November. I think it's from November 15th to, or from November 1st to April 15th. You can't park on the street. So, but in places like Eastern, like Essex County and the city areas, there's no such rules. So people park on the street because they have to, because there's multifamilies. Where are you going to put the cars? Right? There's no place to put the cars. So people park on the streets. And one of the things that was always an issue was whoever dug out the parking space would try to reserve it for themselves, right? They dig it out and they'd put something in there, right? I saw this and I thought this was pretty funny. Hold on. Where is it? The Dr. Seuss version of "Don't you dare
Oh,
move
yeah.
the chair." You dig out the spot and you put a chair in it.
Did
Um,
you happen to see Vinny Bracco's post? They
oh
plowed
my,
him. They
oh,
they plowed him right in.
I did see that. That's insane.
I mean, I'm
That
not laughing. Like, I don't think
that
it's
was
funny, but it just,
that was solid ice too. Did you see get a look at it? Like it was like impacted ice.
yeah, well,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
That's
Oh, the
that's
poor guy.
if he doesn't have scratches and dents in that car, I'd be completely surprised.
Yeah. It's but
Um,
that's look at he lives in Brooklyn, right? Or Queens. I don't know where does he live?
I think Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. So that's going to happen because there's parking there's cars in every spot and on every street and there's no way around it. Where are you going to put the snow? You get 18 inches of snow. I mean, I don't think they got 18 inches there, but I think they got more like a foot there. But what are you going to do with it? It's going to be piled in as the plows come by. It's going to go in. It's going to go on to the cars. That's the way it is.
Did you ever look up? Oh, I sent you that article called "The Ice Beamer."
Yes, I did see that.
That's
Yes.
before we got our real snow. It'd be cool
Yep.
if you could pull that up at some point. Um, but yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, if you guys look up the Ice Beamer in Hamburg, New York. Um, so what happened was the car was stolen. It was like a BMW, a really expensive BMW, and it was stolen. And then I don't know if they left it at Hoke's Restaurant. Now Hoke's Restaurant is right on the edge of Lake Erie, and the waves just get 20 foot high sometimes, and this car got buried in water. The windows were down, and then it froze. So,
Hmm.
are you trying to pull it up?
I'm trying to pull it up. Yeah. Let me see something. Oh, okay. Let's see.
Hi, Gina.
Hi, Gina. Good to see you. Hold on here. Let me see if I can.
What are you looking for, babe?
TJ's black button down. The shirt I washed is an extra large. She works
Let me see here if I can get this up. I don't know if I can get it up. Oh, here we go. So here is. Wait a minute. Why is it not coming up fully? This is the article, but it's not coming up. I wanted to get the video of it. It's not coming up here. Well, here's a picture of it. Hold on. There's a picture of it at least. Let's see.
Yeah.
Totally frozen. Totally iced over.
That they must have like smashed the ice off that door, because that whole car, like, I wish they could show. I wish you could see a video, or if you have the picture of the inside. The interior is completely frozen too.
Let's see here.
But you could see like that it's right on the lake there, and that wall isn't that maybe 20 feet high. It's not that high, and the waves just come pounding over.
And why would someone park there? Is what I would say. Like, what?
It was stolen.
Oh, it was stolen. Okay.
Yeah, it was stolen. So they ditched it there. But why the windows were open? I don't know if the car was shorting out from the waves and they opened, or if they just left the windows down. I don't know. And the funny thing is weird, is it had Delaware plates on it. So I don't know if the guy was. Yeah, I don't know if he was visiting, or I don't.
Here's another picture of it, which is more like. Why is this coming up like this? I don't want this daily news thing here. There it is, completely iced. That's that is bizarre, man. That is something else. Completely solid iced. Oh, Yankees is here. Yankees, good to see you, buddy.
I think that's a different car, Anthony.
Upstate New York, ice car freed from 3 days encased in ice. That's not it?
It's the same exact location, but it is not the same car.
Oh.
Because this happens often. So.
Oh, okay. Let me see when this one was. This one. It doesn't even have a date on it. Oh, this was 2018, this picture. Okay. All right. And that's not a Beamer, though. I guess not. That's not a Beamer. Let me see if I can. See if I can find the.
Sorry about that.
Video. Let's see. I don't know. Where is the video? Strange. It was on YouTube, the video? Do you know? If it was on.
You imagine the Carfax on that?
Oh, please. Oh, wait, here it is.
I don't hear nothing.
Wait a minute, hold on. Hold on here. Let's see if I can get this working. Can I share a Facebook video on here? Let's see. There we go. You can't hear the sound, but you could see it. There's the inside of it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Anthony, I'm going to jump out and come right back in.
Go ahead. Yeah, so that's it's not fun. Look at that. You could see the solid ice for the wheels there. Wow, look at that. Let me see something. Here's the inside, man. Look at that poor car. Oh, my Lord. Look at that. Windows busted and everything. Hold on. Windows busted and everything, and horrible.
Everything froze.
So Donna said that Inside Edition has the video on YouTube. Okay.
Oh yeah, it went everywhere. I mean,
Yeah. Bobo, how you doing, Bobo? Good to see you. Haven't
you
seen you in a
imagine
while.
getting your $80,000 car, stolen,
Oh
and
my
then that's where
God.
you find it.
Oh my. Well, that's got to be totaled, right? At this point, with all that, I mean, come on.
Well, it'll be on the Carfax.
Yeah.
Slight water damage.
Yeah. Light water damage. Uh, yeah, that's something else, man. Only around the Great Lakes would you find that stuff happen.
Yeah, and that, I mean, obviously that was, I think it was, I don't remember the date, but that was before the lake actually froze.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the lake's frozen now. So that's how winter kicked off over here. So
Nice.
yeah, that's like 15 minutes from my house. I've eaten at that restaurant. I know the owner. So,
Oh, nice.
but that's about it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
And everyone, stay warm. Even you Southerners who are getting little dose of winter. Stay warm. We'll get through this. I mean, my long-term forecast is not good. I don't see any break, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I
Right?
can't wait to see my gas bill next month.
Oh, mine was horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
And
So,
electric for because Hokel, she destroyed everything on the electric too. So they're both going to be high now. So usually
oh,
one's low, one's high, and then it switches
right.
at summertime. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but yeah, but all right then. I'll talk to you
All right.
soon. I'll let you know how things go tomorrow.
Great. Talk to you later.
All right, see you guys.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for this evening. I'm glad so many folks came by to hang out. It was great seeing everybody. I think just about everybody came by at one point tonight. It's pretty awesome. So remember to hit the like button on the way out. I hope you enjoyed your icy snow ghost stories as we go through that weather, at least for the foreseeable future. So stay warm, and I will see you all next week. And if you're around, hang out and talk and check out Slim, because I'm sure Slim's going on soon, or maybe a little bit later. He usually goes on at 10. So check out Slimity Cricket if you have nothing else to do. And everyone else, have a wonderful, wonderful night. And thank you all for being here. On behalf of Lenny, Victor, and Edgar, I say God bless and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful week.